Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, and ahead of a vital weekend for Barça and of course also in the final days of the transfer window. Today, coming up for you, it's some Barça news as we're going to be discussing the latest on Eric Garcia and when he'll arrive at the club, and we're also going to be talking about Frenkie de Jong and his stunning form over the past few weeks. It's all coming up today, so let's get to it now. Come on. But first of all, just to bring you some important news as well, because this morning the draw was made for the Copa del Rey quarter-final stage. Barça, of course, having their name in the hat, and we are going to be facing Granada in the quarter-final stage, and that tie is going to take place again, just the one leg. It's going to be next Wednesday on February the 3rd at 9 p.m. local time, and it is, as you'll notice there, another away tie in the Copa of Barça, so we got that to look forward to next week. And I also want to bring you some important transfer news that is breaking today, and it's regarding their Jean-Clair Todibo, who of course has been on loan up until now at Benfica. That's not been going well for him. He clearly hasn't got on well there with the coach. The coach has not trusted in him for any amount of time, and he's also suffered with some injuries, so he is going to be leaving Benfica. That loan is going to be terminated, and it now looks as though he's going to be heading back to Liga 1 to join Nice on an initial loan deal. That could be finalised very, very shortly, and it is being reported right now that in that loan deal there will be an option to buy, apparently for around 10 million euros, which if Todibo goes there and does well, that does not seem expensive at all if Nice were to make that permanent, and it will be exciting to see him, I feel, at the heart of their defence, alongside as well another loanee, another young exciting French talent, William Saliba, who's on loan from Arsenal. That could be interesting, and Todibo for sure will be playing more in the second half of the season. But if we move on to another centre-back who's very much been at the heart of the transfer discussion at Barcelona, of course we have to cover here Eric Garcia, and exactly the latest on him right now. Many of you guys wondering, is he going to be joining Barça in the January transfer window in these final few days, or is he going to be joining in the summer? Which route should we go down? Now it is interesting because looking at the presidential candidates, on the one side, Victor Font is very, very keen to bring in Eric Garcia right now. He wants to bring him in this January transfer window. He says that his team there have agreed a deal in principle with both Eric Garcia and Man City. Font says the deal would see Barça pay 3 million euros to Man City now, plus potential add-ons as well in the future. Although he does say that Eric Garcia has agreed to play for free until the end of the season, such as his desire there to return to his boyhood club. And Font certainly there wants to urge the temporary board to get Garcia in now and not wait until the summer. However, that is certainly just one side of the story, because when it comes to the other candidate, indeed the leading one, Joan Laporta, he's actually spoken of his preference there to not sign Garcia in this window and instead wait until the summer. Laporta has been very, very clear throughout that he would much, much rather wait. He says that in the summer Garcia will be available for absolutely nothing in terms of a transfer fee, and also there wouldn't be any add-ons there payable to Man City, and for that reason he would hold off right now on the Garcia front. And there was actually due to be a meeting today between Carlos Tusquets and the presidential candidates, and also Ronald Koeman, to discuss exactly the right route that we want to go down as a club. But as of right now, those discussions in that meeting has been called off. It may be held at a later date in the coming days. And given that there are several indeed on this contrasting opinions on both sides, what would you guys do with regard to Garcia? Would you want to bring him in now? Would you want to reinforce there are centre-back options for the second half of the season? Or would you wait until he's free in the summer? If it was me, I would say the right decision would be to wait. And that's the honest truth, because right now, in an ideal world, of course we want to bring him in. We would want to bolster our squad as much as possible, bring in there an extra option, a talented player at centre-back. It would be great to do that in an ideal world. But let's face it, let's face facts here. We are not in an ideal world. We're far, far from that. We've all spoken in the recent days about the debt the club is in, about the financial chaos that we currently find ourselves in, and for that reason, we cannot right now be spending any unnecessary millions. If we want to go out and pay 3 million plus add-ons for Garcia, for me, that would be unnecessary, given that in a few months' time, he's going to be absolutely free, and in the grand scheme of things right now, it would be a bit impatient, I feel, to make this move ahead of the summer. But like I say, guys, not just on the transfer front right now, I want to take a little bit of time out here to discuss the form and the absolute brilliance, let's be honest, of Frenkie de Jong, because many of you guys in the comments there, many of you guys as well in the questions, talking about de Jong, talking about the way that he's applied himself in that midfield role in recent weeks. And there was a really interesting question there about whether or not de Jong is going to stay in this role, or in time is he going to be converted back into a more deeper player in that holding role to replace Busquets, as we thought he would when he originally came in from Ajax. And first of all, I want to start here with this cover from Sport, and I actually thought that was really, really good. Obviously, they're super de Jong on the front, and it's just nice to see a cover actually from one of the morning papers focusing there on something positive, something good about the club, and de Jong is certainly ticking all of those boxes right now, because let's not forget, at the start of the season, when Ronald Koeman first came in, when Barça there were trying to establish themselves in this new formation, he found it difficult. He didn't actually really start the season all that well. He had some troubles. There was even some criticism of him, and I don't think any of us doubted de Jong's ability, not this season, not last season as well, but there was always a question about where exactly he'd fit in, what kind of role would he have in that midfield, and I think you look at him now, he's done so well, and I think he's gone to another level altogether than what we saw at Ajax, than what we saw in his first season at the club. He has really developed every aspect of his game, and that comes down to him, because you know that he's the kind of player, we've heard him speak in interviews in the past, and he always says, I want to improve this, I want to improve that. He goes away, he watches the matches over and over again. In his spare time, he's watching things to see how he can improve his own game, and that's what makes a great player. That's the difference there between being a player who's promising, who has talent, to actually achieving that level. And de Jong right now is doing absolutely brilliantly, and what I would say there about moulding him into that deeper role, potentially reverting back there to somebody who can replace Busquets in time, I would say that maybe in the future that might happen. We don't know the road that de Jong is going to go down, but right now, I think we should just enjoy this version. I think right now, to actually limit de Jong, to say, you know what, you've got to play a bit deeper, you can't really make those runs into the box, I think it would be very, very cruel, because quite clearly, he's got the game to do it. He's developed that side of his game, he's scoring goals. I don't think any of us expected him to score the amount of goals that he has done this season, but he's doing it so well. He's a different dimension, he's a player that when he's on form, when he's in this state, nobody can stop him. He is unstoppable as a midfielder, and let's be honest here, long may it continue, because he's massive for us. And so that there, guys, is an update for you right now on what is happening at the club. There is going to be plenty of stories over the next few days, of course, as we do come to an end of that transfer window. Like I say, Todibo is expected to join Nice on loan, so we'll see if that can be finalised anytime soon. But of course, this weekend, a massive game for Barça, hosting Athletic at the Camp Nou on Sunday. Tomorrow, I'll have all the build-up ahead of that match. I'm really, really looking forward to it, and it should be a really fiery affair. I'll see you then, guys, as the weekend, it is here. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.